All right, guys, in this lesson, we're going to learn about child pseudo elements. One thing I want to make change real quick is, I was playing around with this navbar brand for a while. Last lesson, I want to change this real quick. So let's go over here to Sublime. And I want to change first where the strong is. I want that last name to be strong. So we can reload the page here. And I want to make it a little darker. So we have navbar default, navbar brand, color, hashtag 777. Let's go ahead and make it 555. It's a minor difference, but I like it better that way. There we go, a little bit darker. All right, now I'm going to show you about pseudo child elements. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and add one more list item here. It's okay that we'll just change it here. Fourth list item. All right, so we have 4 up here. Okay, so let's go ahead and change this color of the list items. So they're all, and let me take time here once I put this in to say what this means. So you could also, what we've seen before is this, and let me go ahead and change this just so you can see the difference. All right, so we've seen this before. And right now, they look like they pretty much do the exact same thing because you see no difference between the two. All right, well, there is a slight difference. Okay, so what this says, code says right here, is that, for every link or a tag that is inside a list item, that is inside a div with a class of navbar nav, that is inside a div of a class navbar default, give it a color of hashtag 555. Okay, what this says is for every a tag that is an immediate child element of a list item that is an immediate child element of a navbar nav div, then that color is 555. Okay, so let me show you an example where this will come into play. So let's go back here. All right. Save that. Once again, we'll see it, just nothing's changed. But what if I change this to encompass this a tag inside of a paragraph tag? Okay. Now let's reload it. Yes, the styling's messed up, but once again, the color is still the same. Okay, color still the same there. However, when I put in these, okay, so it's saying for every a tag that is an immediate child element of a list item, that is an immediate child element of a div with a class of navbar nav, then give it this color. Well, let's look up here. This div, I'm sorry, I've been saying div, but any HTML element with a class of navbar nav. So this HTML element, in our case, is an unordered list with a class of navbar nav. All the list items that are immediate child elements, so all these list items right here are immediate child elements, all 4 of these. Okay, and we can see it even easier if I do this. I'm doing this for indentation purposes so you can see it easier. All right. However, right here, see, we want immediate child of this. So we have navbar nav, then we have one indentation, immediate child list. So far we're good here. However, now this A reference is no longer an immediate child of this list item. So this is not true. This is not a selector for this A tag right here. If I put in, well, let's save this and I'll show you. See, now it's not the same color, not the same coding. Now, if I did this, since there's that P right in there, so list item, immediate child paragraph, immediate child A, then that should be the only one with the correct coding now. See, these other ones are still 777 from the original Bootstrap CSS, and this one is 555. All right, so we're going to go back. We're going to make this. I just want to show you the difference between, with these carets and without them. And we're going to go back. We're going to go way back. So I'm just pushing Command Z on a Mac, Control Z on a PC. And we're going to take these paragraph tags back out. Save that. We're good here. Reload the page. All is good in our code. All right. So we have color 555. However, I want to change this color. I want to get a little nice kind of, that Googlish look to our site. So I'm going to show you a site I like to use for colors. Flat UI colors. We're going to grab this color right here, alizarin. All you have to do is click on it. Sometimes this site will give you troubles. Click on it. All right, there we go. It saved it. So that's copied it for you. And now we're just going to paste this right here. So you understand all this. We've seen this before. This static top here isn't the correct color because it has a class of active. So it's given it a different color. So let's just take out that active class here. Very nice. All right. So we see all the colors here. All right. So now pseudo child elements. And let's see what W3 Schools has to say about it. Pseudo child elements. All right, select in style. This doesn't really tell us. The first child selector is used to select the specified selector only if it is the first child of its parent. So this, I don't really like what they're telling us here, so I think it'll be easier for you to just see. So I want to style just this first list item as that red color, okay? So how to do that is this here. So we want it to be just the first list item. So we're going to say li and then colon first child. So what this says is that only the first list item underneath navbar nav should have this color. So let's save this, and we should only see this one as red and the rest back to 555. Beautiful. Okay, so now let's copy this and let's do that second list item. And you're putting the first child attached to this li, this list item, because you're not going to attach it to the A tag here because there's only one A tag, okay? And we're going for each list item. So we're going to go for the first list item and the second list item. So that's why we're attaching it to the li instead of the A. And then, of course, pseudo selectors go after the selector itself, okay? Just like we did earlier with hover. Let me see. When I say earlier, I mean the earlier lesson. So see hover coming after the A here. So pseudo selectors always go after the CSS selector and always has a colon preceding it. So let's copy this. Now we're going to change the second list item to have a certain color. So let me find a good color over here. Let's go with this green. Okay, change that here. Then for the second child and the remaining, childs after that, instead we don't say second child. What we say is we say nth child, and then we define what number it is after that. So this is second child. Save that, and we should see our green right here. Beautiful. So let's just go ahead and do it for the remaining two. third child, fourth child. Let's grab some colors. Peter River, I like it. Nice blue. And what does carrot look like? Carrot or sunflower? Just go nice orange. Sorry. We're going more for the lesson in the selectors here. All right, beautiful. Nice. So we have them all styled and colored. And just to give you another exercise on how these child elements work, let's change the color of each of these blog post titles. All right. Right here. So let's go over here and we can look in our HTML and we see that each blog post is surrounded in a div with a class of blog post. See right here. See right here. And they are all contained in a div with an ID of blog page. So let's say hashtag blog page for ID. And then div with a class of blog post. And we could be specific here with div. I know I keep assuming that y'all know that, so I want to keep hitting this home. We could say div.blogpost, and up here, for each of these navbar navs, we could say UL here, but we don't have to. So we're going to leave these out. So we have HTML element with an ID of blog page, then HTML element with a class of blog post, and then we want to change the H2 with a class of blog post title. All right. And so where do we put, if we want to style this first, the H2 of this first blog post to have a different color, where do we put that? So I'm going to pause the video now for a second and let you experiment where to put, this first child, where to attach it. So you've had your time to mess around and try it out. And this is pretty similar to the last one. So in the last one, we're styling the A tag. However, we're doing it for each list item, like each ordered list item. So in this instance, we're styling any H2 with a class of blog post title. However, there's only going to be one of those in each div with a class of blog post. So we're not going to attach it here. We're not going to attach the first child here because this doesn't, happen again. Okay? So what we are going to do is we're going to attach it right here to this blog post. So we're saying, for the blog post, the first one that's within blog page, then style the H2 with a class of blog post title this way. So now let's come over here. All right, so nice, it's red. And then if we come over here and we do grab this and we change it to, remember, nth child 2, and we're going to give it that same color as up here. All right, so you get the gist and you see how these child pseudo elements work and where to position them on what selector. And while I do like doing this, I am going to take these last two away because they were purely to show you an instruction. We don't want the site to look to look too childish. All right, so we have this, and you know about pseudo elements, or pseudo child elements, and we also discussed, the difference in HTML selectors in this lesson in terms of these versus doing spaces, carets versus doing spaces. And next we will finish up this top section here with a little hover pseudo element and styling here.